Well, hello there. My name is Vladimir. Welcome to my home studio. Today we are reviewing, or I am reviewing, the Harley Benton T-Style kit. This guitar was assembled during a live stream with the Guitar Geek and Max Solo. And if you managed to miss that crazy madness thing happening, here's a little snippet what it looked like and link to full video below as well. Welcome to the tele-assembly madness thing. We were talking about establishing the rules.
Yeah, and the rules suck.
And the rebel.
Oh. So that's the thing now. Go.
Crap!
Entertain. Why am I putting the strap lock buttons on first? I don't know. I'm not sure that I can actually play a G chord anymore. I've just screwed two strap buttons on. Right, my E string has a knot in it. That's not good.
I mean, this needs to be sanded down at least, and then.
You know what? I'm going to attempt shaping my headstock right now.
I really love the guitar, by the way, and
with this hammer.
Yeah, go for it.
I'm doing it. Right, here we go.
During the live stream, when I managed to get this guitar together, my initial reaction was that it's actually surprisingly good. The price for this is 79 euros, and for that money you are getting actually quite a lot, which surprised me big time, to be honest. I have absolutely no idea what the bodywood is. I have no idea what the neck is. It certainly looks like maple, but who knows. And the fretboard is also a big question. It looks like a mixture. Let me put it on the overhead cam. It looks like a mixture of like rosewood or ebony, but I seriously doubt it's either of those. After playing the guitar for a few minutes during the live stream, I immediately knew that I need to do some additional setup to kind of do a proper review of the whole thing. So I set up a workshop thing in my living room, and I began by dismantling the whole instrument. Well, not the whole instrument, but I took the neck off. One of the reasons I wanted to kind of take apart the neck was that I wanted to work on the frets a little bit. Some of them felt pretty rough, and I knew that they needed some polish. And I have these kind of, they look like eraser rubber gum things that you use to get kind of writing off paper or something. And they're super handy because I have a 400 and 1000 grit things, but they're actually kind of sandpaper-ish, and they're really great when working on frets. So the first thing I did was masking or kind of taping the fretboard itself so that rubber gum thing doesn't kind of do any damage to it. And I basically went through all of the frets and polished them a little bit, and it helped to some extent at least. These frets are super small, kind of vintage style, and there isn't that much to work with, to be honest. But yeah, I felt some improvement after that process. Maybe I should repeat it at some point. After that, I cleaned the fretboard as well. After that, I went to the tuners, and I kind of wanted to check them out because Max noticed that they have numbering kind of inside the tuner, but the numbering didn't make any sense. So I went through mine. There's two number ones, two number twos, there's a 3, and there's a 4. I have no idea why, but yeah, I ended up just putting them in place properly because during the live stream I was in a rush and some of them went like really well attached. So I did that. After the tuners were properly in place and I added the string trees, I took a set of Electro strings. I think there were 10 to 52s. And put those on because those are similar strings I actually use 11s on my other telly, but this was close enough, so I put those on and gave this guitar as good a setup as I could because there are some flaws in it. First of all, I have no idea how I can kind of demonstrate that, but I hope you can see it on the overhead cam. But this bridge is slightly offset. And you can see it by the fact that this string, the high E string, almost goes kind of out of here. And on this side, there's much more space kind of on this side of the kind of low E string. And even if you look at the pickguard and everything, this bridge feels just a little bit offset. So it should be probably rotated just a little bit like this. Technically, I could fix this. I could take off the bridge and fill those holes and then kind of reposition it. But I need to check with a actual luthier whether there's something else that could be done to kind of compensate this. Playing wise, I haven't noticed a huge kind of problem yet, but it is pretty easy to get this high E string over there. So we'll see if it will be actually a problem. Overall, the hardware feels surprisingly good. The bridge feels pretty solid, and especially the switches and the knobs feel like they feel actually really good. And if they work, I see no reason for replacing them anytime soon. One thing I probably actually didn't mention on the live stream is that for obviously cost saving purposes, this bridge is kind of this weird dual bridge where you can put the strings through here, but also you can see that there are holes for this guitar to be a string through body, and as you can see there isn't anything happening here. And that's kind of funny because traditional teles always have a string through body, or most of them at least have. And here this thing is done for cost saving purposes, but there is an option to use the same bridge and just go through here. I could basically drill holes over there and I'd be good to go. Need to add those, I don't know if they're called like string holders or anything, like just hammer those in and I would be good to go. But I did find it a bit funny that there's actually a kind of a custom bridge that allows you to do both. The nut on the guitar isn't the worst I've seen, but even with the intonation setup, especially on the E and the A string, it's still really in tune when playing like a traditional C or G chord. It's just, this nut is way too high over here and these strings go way out of tune. Even with all of the setup done well, like on the bridge and adjusting the neck angle and all of that. So that would require some work. It isn't as bad as on, let's say, some of the guitars Andy has reviewed, and he used this term that the nut looks like it's been made with a spoon. Whoever did this nut had actually tools available, so it looks decent, but one of the kind of quickest ways to improve this guitar would be replacing this nut with a bone nut and kind of doing a proper setup using that. Honestly, I actually have to remind myself every now and then that this is a 79 euro guitar, because even acoustically it sounds actually pretty good. I don't know how much the room mic will pick up. And it actually even like resonates a little bit, especially the neck feels like it's made out of a decent piece of wood. Body is maybe a little bit less kind of, it vibrates less, let's put it that way. They did a really good job on this neck at least. Like the fret ends are nice and the neck feels super smooth. It's a kind of, I want to say it's a more like a D style profile, and the radius in the fretboard is pretty flat. And it has, as I mentioned, it has kind of really vintage style frets, so they are pretty small. And having two guitars with jumbo and kind of medium jumbo frets, this feels a bit weird to play, but I'm getting used to it pretty quickly. Even without plugging this thing in, this guitar gets a pretty high grade from me already. It feels like surprisingly good, and I've played much worse instruments for quadruple the money than this is, so I'm really impressed. Obviously we want to hear how the guitar sounds plugged in, so we're going from the guitar to my pedal board, which you can see a little bit through the overhead cam. I'm using the Callan Pure Sky Overdrive, a little bit of reverb from the Nux Atlantic. I'll kick in the Orange Getaway Drive at some point, Ural Tone Junior, and then the 2-Notes Torpedo Live with the closed back 4x12 by Rev amplification, aka my basic setup. The neck pickup sounds like this, and you will immediately hear how the kind of intonation slash the nut thing causes some out of tuneness. That's a word now. I have the tuner on over here and it's almost like a half step sharp. But when I pick the string separately or do this, it shows it's completely in tune. And even here the intonation is almost perfect. So yeah, the nut needs a little bit of work. I think I might have mentioned this on the live stream already, but the pickups and all of the electronics are pretty impressive on this guitar. Like, this is a good sounding neck pickup. Then the middle position, I immediately want to go to the funky stuff. It's also a nice sound for kind of strumming thing. And the bridge pickup. Let's go for a bit more overdrive. Here's without the getaway driver. Something like that. But like overall, this thing sounds good. Like 79 euros. 79 euros and a pack of new strings. But that's about it. So 83 euros to be okay. No wait, not 83, 93 euros. I'm good at math. So as the last thing in this video, let's do a completely pointless comparison between my two tellies. This has an American alder body, it has a maple neck and a rosewood fingerboard. This probably has a maple neck and whatever body it is and whatever fretboard it is. And this actually has two Strat pickups, so kind of, again, it's a pointless comparison, but just for the sake of it, let's do it. Let's compare the bridge pickups. Then, because this guitar has a 5-way selector, I'm gonna treat the middle pickup selection on this guitar as the kind of in-between positions 2 and 4 on this guitar, and then we compare the neck pickups just for the sake of it. I don't know why, but let's do it anyway. haven't listened to the clips yet, but I can immediately tell that these guitars not only sound different, but feel incredibly different to play. This neck is less wide, thinking at least, feels less wide, it's more rounded on the back. This neck is flat, it's a really flat radius on the fretboard. This is more kind of a compound radius thing. They kind of react differently. I don't know, maybe it's partially because of the kind of thinner string set, because this has 11 to 49s, I think, and this is 10 to 52 maybe, or 10 to 48s. And especially the high strings kind of throw me off a bit, just because they feel a bit too soft for me to play. This guitar seems to have a pretty kind of vintage oriented pickups as well, and I kind of really like that. I don't think the Harley Benton is replacing this guitar, just because it's I'm super familiar with this and it's pretty much better in every aspect. But like, for 79 euros, this is pretty impressive. I'm gonna put this away for now. And like, yeah, what I would probably do next is replacing the nut. That's one thing. Need to see whether the bridge will actually be an issue. Maybe it won't. I think I would probably get much more kind of body resonance if the strings would go through the body. So that's something I'm considering doing as well. Obviously, I want to shape the headstock because it's a paddle right now. You can do this with it. I'm interested in how the guitar would sound if I would swap the pickups, because this don't actually sound bad. They sound pretty good. And they're definitely more low output than on my own telly. Well, this is my telly as well, but like on the white telly. I'm not 100% sure anymore that I want to make this into a kind of heavy metal dual humbucker thing. Or maybe I still will because I have a telly over there. Maybe I will just modify that one to have kind of a more vintage style pickups and enjoy that one, and then make this some sort of metal machine just for the sake of it. And then I would probably end up changing the bridge completely. Obviously, I want to shape the headstock as well because it's a paddle right now. You can do this with it. And yeah, the nut needs some fixing. Need to check the electronics. Maybe there's also something that makes the overall sound a bit darker. But to wrap up, if you want a fun guitar project that will kind of result in actually a playable guitar, this is the way to go, to be honest. Like, if you don't want to build a guitar from scratch, just assemble something and have a kind of fun mod project. This thing is really impressive. Sounds good. I think with some finishing and stuff like that, it will probably look good as well. The neck feels impressive, and the other two guys, Max and Andy, also said that the neck work, or like the workmanship on their necks in their guitars was good as well. So you are getting a guitar that you just need to put together, and you can already start playing with it, and then you can obviously modify it as much as you want. And because it's 79 euros, if you make a scratch or anything like that, it doesn't, like, it wouldn't make me sad. I'm kind of losing words right now. I need to get some coffee. To summarize, a really good guitar, fun project. I have no idea how the other kits are, like the Strats and SGs and stuff. Maybe we'll do something similar as the live stream with it in the future as well. That would be super fun. And I'll keep you updated what I'm going to do with this. I think I'll do some more setup, and I'll see whether I go to kind of humbucker route and make this a pink metal guitar, or whether I'm going to keep it more as a telly. We shall see. Thanks for watching my review on the Harley Benton T-Style kit. It's really impressive. There's obviously some flaws, but for the 79 euros, you cannot be too mad about them. And honestly, it was really easy and fun to put together. Even if you have no experience in assembling guitars before, I think it will still take you less than an hour to make this happen. So if you are interested in getting one, check out the link below in the description. And thanks for Torment for providing this guitar for us, or guitars for me and Andy and Max. You get the idea. Again, coffee. Thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed yet, there's a subscribe button for you. Some other videos I've done. Remember to click the notification bell as well. And I think I mentioned everything. I hope I did. Thanks for watching. I shall see you next time.